I learned that little bit with the Lord is much better than a whole lot without it. I've learned that money can buy you a watch, but it can't buy you time. It can buy you a Sealy Posturepedic, but it can't buy you sleep. I learned that what does it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? So I was glad when they said unto me, come on, let's go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem was built as a city that is compact together, whether the tribes go up, the tribes unto the Lord, of the Lord unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. Y'all not helping me here. Oh, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and let the King of glory come in. Trust not in riches and stuff and things. Trust thou in God. David got to the house of God, and David got a word. David, Lord bless David. David was a fascinating creature. He's a hero for so many. He's an example of what it means, though, to be called of God and used of God. Chosen from obscurity, the least of the brothers, who becomes king in all of Israel. He's a type of Christ and a type of believer. Christ sits upon the throne of David. Of his kingdom there shall be no end. When the Gentiles came in to faith in Christ without having to keep Jewish laws and traditions, it was stated by the church of Jerusalem, this is the tabernacle of David being rebuilt, where everybody can come and worship 24/7. We can have a relationship with God. That's the kind of dude David was. But David's life for us gives us what I've called Davidic parallels, where we can see how his life parallels our life. Some of the stuff that he's been through, some of the people he's had to deal with. See, all of us have some Sauls that are trying to kill us, some Jonathans that covenant with us, some Bathshebas that tempt us, some Uriahs that we have done wrong to. All of us have some Absalons and some Ahithophels in our lives. So y'all follow me? There's a lot of Davidic parallels, but also we get some other parallels in that David is chosen, but he has challenges. He's anointed, but he's got some agony. Come on, he's reigning with God, but he's running from his enemies. Come on, he's had the death of a child. He's guilted publicly of adultery. He's orchestrated the murder of an innocent man. He's created an elaborate cover-up scheme. He's involved in bloody, violent wars. He's lived his entire life, as I stated, under a hit put on him by Saul, Absalom, Adonijah, and many, many others. But with all this trauma and drama, what we ultimately know David as is a man after God's own heart. What? A man after God's own heart. What? You mean tell me you can have that much? What? A man after God's own heart. God saw him when he was a kid. He chose him when he rejected Saul. And David didn't have to try out for this. David didn't have to have the character to do what he was doing. God saw something in him, and God knew that his heart was towards him. God knew that there was something in this man that would keep him through these trials and through these tests. You see, Job had to go through a living hell, but God says he's an integrate man. There's something in him. He will not cuss me. He will not charge me foolishly. He will not deny the faith. It'll get hard, and when it gets too hard, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna say, Job, before you say something, stand on your feet like a man. The devil almost had you, but I'm here to rescue you. Where were you when I flung the stars in the sky, when I laid the plumb line, called it the equator? Where were you when I spun the earth on its axis, when I flung the stars off my fingertip? Where were you, Job? I'm your God. I'm sovereign. I hear you. I see you. Yeah, your friends think you're crazy. They're talking about you like a dog. They don't understand why you're sitting on a dump with the pot shed scraping your sores and your wounds while all your children are dead, while you lost everything. But oh, David, I want to tell you, Job, I want to let you know that I am the God who is the God of more than, listen here, I'm for your trouble. I'm the God that can give you double. And the moment you release those friends, just pray for them friends. I got it waiting on you. I'm going to give you. Stop complaining. Stop worrying. Don't worry about what folks say. The moment you just stop and give me praise, the moment you just acknowledge who I am, stop trying to fight your own battle. I got you. That's for somebody in this room today, and I know it may not have come out just right because I didn't want to say it wrong, but somebody here, you talking about what somebody did to you, you singing of somebody done you wrong. So, man, the moment you just stop that, they ain't got a heaven or hell to put you in, and while they sleeping that night, you standing there walking the floor with your head in your hand. Man, go to bed. Man, roll over and say, God, forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. The Bible said had they known who you were, they would not have done to you what they did. Come on, somebody. Touch not mine anointed. Do my prophets no harm. God's got your back. They dig a ditch for you, they're going to fall in it. God is there to pick you up when you fall. Some of y'all act like you never had a ditch dug for you. Some of y'all act like you ain't never been betrayed. Somebody act like you never been lied on, never been misunderstood, talked about, mistreated. Y'all not helping me here. It happens in the world. It happens in the White House. It happens in Congress. It happens in Senate. It happens everywhere. It happens in the house of God. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory.